On Tuesday in Libreville, the Minister of Health of Gabon received the Ambassador of France and the representative of the World Health Organization in Gabon, with whom several issues were discussed in order to improve the health ecosystem in the country. Two young Senegalese pilots managed to reach France in a four-seater aircraft. In 7 days, they covered 5,000 kilometers, flew over 4 countries, and made 10 stopovers. A big one for pilots from the country of the Teranga. African Cup of Nations Egypt 2019. Following the last matches of Day 3 of the competition, all the qualified teams are now known and games of the round 16 will start this Friday, July 5th, 2019. First contact between the new Minister of Health in Gabon and the representative of the World Health Organization this Tuesday in Libreville, an opportunity to review some major issues such as those on national drug policy, an issue on which Gabon has done well. While Gabon remains a good student on the issue of communicable disease management, so-called non-communicable diseases continue to make inroads, an issue that needs to be addressed quickly through a multi-sectoral plan. At first, the Gabonese Minister of Health received the French ambassador to Gabon, with whom he discussed several issues including the rehabilitation and extension of 27 sanitary structures in the provinces of Otogowe, Gonier, By definition, the dream is a generally nocturnal disposition of the mind occurring during sleep and which gives the awakened individual memories named dreams. Furthermore, there is a saying that there are only 2 ways to follow in life: either we dream it or we fulfill it. Simply put, make your life a dream and a dream a reality. Biram Coulibaly and Maodo Ndiaye, 2 Senegalese nationals, were able to understand it well, which is why they went to the end of their dream. These 2 Senegalese pilots managed to show that the exploit or achievement had no face, and that with determination, bravery and audacity in an aircraft of 4 seats, despite the winds and clouds, at several thousand feet of altitude, they could move from one continent to another. In 7 days, the 2 flights and pilots covered 5,000 kilometers that separate Saint-Louis in Senegal from the city of Lyon in the eastern suburb of Paris. During their journey, they flew over 4 countries: Mauritania, Morocco, Spain and France, and made 10 stopovers. Their plane landed this Saturday in France. 1 week later, leaving Saint-Louis on June 23rd. The 2 Senegalese pilots, Biram Coulibaly and Maodo Ndiaye, were at the end of their dream. This is what reminds the rest of the African youth that the dream is the beginning of all things, but one should not stop there, rather should go to the end of their dream and taste the flavor of a dream coming true. After the very tough negotiations that followed the European elections in Brussels, the American economist David Lipton will be acting director of the International Monetary Fund, replacing Christine Lagarde, 63 years of age, former Minister of Economy under Nicolas Sarkozy and current managing director of the IMF. She succeeds the Italian Mario Draghi to a powerful position, since the European Central Bank determines the exchange rate and health of the euro. In other words, the whole of the European Union. Christine Lagarde will also be in a very important political position, a justice of the peace, in the eternal debate between the supporters of an expansionist monetary policy and those who defend the rigor to limit inflation as much as possible. Since her appointment, the first critiques rose from within the European Union and in the media, pointing to the experience of Christine Lagarde, who has never led the central bank before, the European Central Bank. Still, Christine Lagarde has been held in high esteem for years on the European scene, especially since her role in managing the supreme crisis in 2007, when she barely arrived at Bercy. Just 10 years ago, in 2009, she was even named the best finance minister in the Eurozone by the Financial Times. The profile of Christine Lagarde is undoubtedly the one that best suited a compromise with Germany, in a tense sequence between Paris and Berlin. while it is the German Ursula von der Leyen on the proposal of Emmanuel Macron who will become president of the European Commission in place of Jean-Claude Juncker. A French person had to occupy a key position in the new arrangement. Christine Lagarde seems to have scored points for the image she refers to internationally, including the Chancellery, where Angela Merkel would be very sensitive to her reputation. Engaged as director of the IMF until 2021, Christine Lagarde immediately clarified her position on Twitter after the announcement of her appointment at EBC, saying in French and English, very honored after the choice by leaders of the European states. Unsurprisingly, former Golden State Warriors winger Kevin Durant has confirmed that he will play with the Nets for the next 4 seasons for a total of $164 million, a decision that ends a 3-season lease with the Warriors, where he won 2 NBA titles and 2 MVP finals. The games of the year 2019 by the former Oklahoma Thunders ended with a rupture of the right Achilles tendon. The Brooklyn project went further than Kevin Durant's signature. The New York team for the next season can count on Kyrie Irving, who had gradually moved closer to Brooklyn for a month. Uncle Drew will be eager to forget his chaotic season with Boston. To set up a big three, Brooklyn also thought of DeAndre Jordan. The team's backbone is a friend very close to Durant. In addition, the big maneuvers launched by Brooklyn have not gone unnoticed. The bookmakers have passed the Nets rating from 25-1 to 18-1 for the 2020 title. However, still far from the big favorite, the Los Angeles Lakers' LeBron James, who through an exchange have already recruited Anthony Davis. African Cup of Nations Egypt 2019 at the end of the last matches of the third day of the competition. Algeria, which had managed to enter Egypt, will face Guinea, the third team in Group B, while Nigeria will be opposed to Cameroon for a remake of the 2000 final, which was won by Patrick Mboma and his teammates. A tempting poster between the two leaders of the continent that should be disputed. Morocco will be grappling with the Squirrels of Benin, who made it through to the round of 16 by lining up a series of 3 draws. Madagascar, the surprise of the first round, will be opposed to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Côte d'Ivoire, the 2015 African champion in Equatorial Guinea, will face off against the Mali's Eagles of Moussa Marega. Uganda, Senegal, Ghana, Tunisia will also follow in this battle of the round of 16. Finally, Egypt, the host country, will be entitled to a duel with South Africa that qualified as the 4th best third team. The Bafana Bafana are going to have to whip in front of a transfigured team at home and which has the support of the entire nation. On Tuesday in Libreville, the Minister of Health of Gabon received the Ambassador of France and the representative of the World Health Organization in Gabon, with whom several issues were discussed in order to improve the health ecosystem in the country. Two young Senegalese pilots managed to reach France in a 4-seater aircraft. In 7 days, they covered 5,000 kilometers, flew over 4 countries, and made 10 stopovers. A big one for pilots from the country of the Teranga. African Cup of Nations Egypt 2019. Following the last matches of Day 3 of the competition, all the qualified teams are now known and games of the round 16 will start this Friday, July 5th, 2019.